What's up? It's me, Mr. Mingoni, here for another art lesson. So, last week, you all were making some architecture drawings, all right? And an architecture drawing means like you designed some buildings. And we kind of drew some sketches and thumbnails. Those are some new words that we might have learned. And that means you like kind of made some little quick practice, little plans for some buildings. So what we're going to do this week is we are going to actually make one big drawing, like your final drawing that you're really going to spend some time on this one building, add in lots of detail. So we're going to work pretty hard on this one, and I'm going to show you some cool tips for it, all right? So let me move my camera so you can see the drawing. Here's the art room in case any of you Riverside friends missed the art room. It's still here. So let's see. Oh yeah, here's some of my artwork that I have above my desk. All kinds of stuff. There's a Pokemon that I made up. He's like a cyborg frog called Cybrog. Here's me and my family riding on a giant frog. You might see a couple of frogs. I wonder why there's so many frogs. Some Cuphead excuse me. Cuphead characters I made up. Yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. Oh, and guess what? It's a frog. It's a little wizard frog. Okay. So, anyway, it's fun to share our art. This is kind of a new setup for me, so I'm figuring it out. Oh, look at this. Whoa, that's the video. It's a video of the video of the video. Anyway. I love getting distracted. Okay. Okay, so now you can see my picture. Wonderful. This is what we want. So, I've got kind of a bigger paper. I would definitely suggest you use a bigger paper for this one. If you don't have a big paper, what you can do is you could take two smaller papers and you could tape them together, something like that. And if you can't figure that out, it's not a big deal. I mean, heck, you could draw a masterpiece on the back of a shopping receipt for all I care. It's just nice to have a big paper for this one. So, we're doing our architecture drawing, and we were making a building with a purpose, right? There's a reason for your building. So, I want you to pick one of yours from last week that you did and make a bigger drawing of that one, all right? Before we even get into that stuff, though, I want to show you some basics of how to put this picture together. All right, and you are going to need a pencil and eraser for this part. So make sure you have that, because we're going to do some erasing. And this is just the basics of how to put together like a outdoor scene where we're going to put your building. And this is kind of stuff that you're going to use in all of your art for a long time. So we start with a line through the middle. And I'm drawing really lightly. You probably can barely even see it. That's okay. This is called a horizon line. Horizon line, okay? And what that means is this is the ground and this is the sky. Let me show you what most people usually do for horizon line before they learn how to really do it. This is what I often see from younger students, and that's okay if you draw like this. We'll put the grass down here because, you know, the grass is below us, and the sky up here because, you know, the sky is above us. And then your person or whatever you're drawing will be here in the middle, right? Now, I get it. I get it because the sky's above us and the grass is below us. But this isn't really how the world looks. If you look outside or look somewhere where you can see really far, you will see the grass kind of goes farther and farther away until it almost looks like the grass and the sky meet, okay? So that's kind of what we're going for. And I think you're going to see what that really works, how that works, as we go. Just bear with me for a while, okay? So I have my horizon line. Let's talk about the basics of how that horizon line works, okay? If I have a tree, say I'm drawing a tree, all right? And by the way, here's what I'll do. This picture, this is how you used to draw things. This is some new ways I'm going to teach you, okay? So, a lot of students will draw a tree like this. A nice rectangle with a little fluffy cotton ball. Raise your hand if you've drawn that tree. I have. We're all guilty of it, okay? It's all right, don't sweat it. But a tree has a little more shape, right? And to be honest, there's a million ways you could do a tree, okay? So for my tree, I'm gonna make it a little wider at the bottom, and I'm even gonna draw in some little roots. It's not really that hard. You can definitely do that. And then, what does a tree have up here by the leaves that this one doesn't have? Are the leaves just like a big ball of leaves that's balancing on top? No, a tree has branches, right? So I like to draw the branches first. And this is like you're mapping out where the tree is gonna go. And sometimes the branches split off. And once again, there's a million different styles that different artists do. So you don't have to do yours just like mine. I'm just trying to show you, it doesn't have to be this, all right? So after I've done my branches, then I can go and draw some of those puffy shapes. But I like to do it like different sections. Like here's a shape, here's a shape, here's a shape. You see that? And oh, it looks like my horizon line's going through it. That's where I'm just gonna erase that, okay? So, we're learning a lot today, so bear with me, all right? That's how I would draw a tree. Now, does this tree look like it's up close, or does it look like it's far away? Okay, this tree looks like it's up close. Sorry, my computer. Okay, and that's because it's close to the bottom here, and it's really big. All right, how can I make a tree that looks farther away? Well, if I put it close to the horizon line, it looks farther away. You might notice also, I made this tree a lot smaller, right? So as something is closer to the horizon line, and you make it a little smaller, it looks like it's farther away. Okay, that's a nice little tip for you. So put stuff down here, make it really big, it's close. Put stuff up at the horizon line, make it small, it's far away. Let's try an experiment. If I put a tree at the horizon line and make it big, what does that look like? I'm gonna draw it lightly because I want to erase it. That looks like a giant tree. It looks like it's far away and it's huge, so it looks giant. Unless that's what you're going for. Alrighty. So we're just kind of learning the basics of how this picture is going to work, right? So you see why you might want a big paper, and you see why we're going to spend some time on this one. It's a big project, and that's okay. I'm going to work hard on this one. So we've learned about horizon line. We've talked about how to make a tree, or even it doesn't have to be a tree. It could be a person or a dog. Something is close to you or make it far away, right? So let's talk about my building, all right? Let's see, what kind of building am I going to make? I'm going to make, oh, I was making an arcade last time, that's right. I'm going to stick with that idea. Now, I don't have to copy my old drawing exactly. I can make a new one that's kind of uses some things from that, but also try some new things. All right, so I'm going to make an arcade. And the last one was kind of a practice drawing. This one is like a real detailed drawing. And what I like to do, no matter what I'm drawing, is start with some basic shapes, especially with a building. And remember, we're not going to draw this house, all right? That's okay. We love this house, and it's cute, and it's easy. There's nothing wrong with it, really. It's adorable. But this project, I want you to kind of push yourself a little further, okay? So, and kind of explore what you can really do and how crazy you can get with it. So I'm going to start with a triangle shape just for the bottom of the building, okay? And I'm starting near the bottom. Is it touching the bottom of the page? No. I want to look like I could walk around it, right? So I have like a front yard here, okay? And I'm going to make a part that goes up. And you see how my horizon line goes through it? That's why we did it with pencil, so that I can erase it. And guess what it looks like? It looks like the horizon line's going behind it. That's cool. You're going to start to see how this is going to work. See, this one, it's like the house is sitting right on top of it. But this one is like the horizon line's behind it, and there's all this space here around it. It's so cool, and you can do that, all right? You know, I said I was going to make an arcade, but This is reminding me of like a wizard's tower. So I'm gonna make a wizard's tower, okay? Because you know what, this is my drawing. I can change my mind if I want. So I'm gonna have some castle elements. So I've got like this triangle. Maybe the main entryway can be like a big door like this. And then we'll do a big tower here. See, it's almost like I'm putting building blocks together to make these basic shapes. I'll have a little area over here, which I know what's gonna go in there, but I'm not gonna tell you yet, it's a secret. All right, and then I don't know what's gonna go over here, so I'm just gonna make a weird shape just to fill in the building, and maybe have one that comes up here. Okay, so I've got the basics of my building down, okay? So your horizon line should look like it's going, and when it touches the building, it stops. And then it continues again, but if it touches something else, it stops, right? So it looks like it's going behind this stuff. So this is the basics of how you set up this picture, okay? And then we just add so many details. All right, I'm gonna add like bricks onto this tower, and guess what I'm gonna put in here? I'm not gonna tell you yet, it's still a secret. Haha, you thought you got me. Let me show you some other cool tips just while we're doing it, and you're learning all kinds of cool stuff about how to put this picture together. For a you see, we learned a new way to make a tree. Let's talk about clouds. You know what's funny is people draw clouds like they just took this part of the tree and put it in the sky. It's kind of funny. You can draw clouds like that if you want, but there's a lot of ways to do it. So let's explore some other ways. You want to see my favorite type of cloud? I think it's called like a cumulus cloud. It's nice and big and puffy like this, and then sometimes they get flat on the bottom. I love those clouds. And you know how our trees get smaller, or whatever gets smaller toward they get to the horizon line? Watch this. I make my clouds get smaller. I get closer to the horizon line, they're getting smaller. That has a nice effect, like space, right? Maybe you have some clouds that are wispy. Wispy clouds. I love those nice wispy clouds. And these are getting smaller and smaller as we're getting toward the horizon line. Cool. And the sun. Let's talk about the sun, okay? I don't think I've ever looked outside and saw this in the sky. It's cute. I love it. It's cute. But the sun does not have to look like that, all right? You can, like I said, you certainly can make it that way if you want. But I want you to know you can do it so many other ways. My favorite way to do the sun is to make it like just peeking over the horizon line like this. It can even go behind something like your building. You see that? Wow, it looks like the sun's setting and it's like this glorious giant sunset, right? Or you could give the sun a cheesy smile and some sunglasses, which is kind of funny. Why would the sun need sunglasses? And he's giving you a thumbs up, and he's drinking a root beer, having a good day, wearing his hat backwards. And you can draw a cool, crazy fire coming out of him. You could do it that way too. You don't have to do it this way, all right? Just so you know. Alrighty, so we're all set up here. This is gonna be fun, all right? Now we got our picture kind of set up. We know how it's gonna work, and I just add details. I just go crazy. I'm gonna add people, maybe some wizards doing the magic around here. I'm gonna add like textures and bricks and windows and flags, and in here I'm gonna put, oh, it's still a secret, not gonna tell you yet, okay? So I'm gonna put on some nice music, and we're gonna have some drawing time. If you started drawing already, that is totally fine, all right? And you know what? Just to be clear, yours does not have to look like this, okay? This is just a guide. Yours can look different. The basic things that I want you to get here is you have your building in the middle of the page, or at least it's not touching the bottom. The horizon line goes behind it like this, okay? Let this be your guide if you want something more simple, okay? Building here, horizon line goes behind it. And you have some other tricks you can use. I don't expect you to remember all of these little things, but if you want to try to use some of those tricks, you can. All right. So let's make some art. Okay. And you can also go on to coloring and outlining. I like to do pencil first and then color and stuff. That's how I do it. But I think I might actually go in with some markers or something. You know what? I think I just decided I'm just gonna do pencil for this drawing, and that's okay. Whatever you want to do, as long as you spend lots of time on it and put lots of love into it and make it your best, all right? You can color it, you can outline it, or just do pencil. Doesn't matter. I just want you to spend time on it. Most importantly, I just want you to be happy, all right? And art is a way to help yourself be happy. That's why we do this. Don't forget that. So remember, our building does have a purpose, right? And we talked about ways to show its purpose. Okay, so like mine is a wizard's tower. You can see there's wizards on there, and they have a dragon, right? So I'm kind of putting a story together. What did they? Maybe they captured this dragon, right? Maybe what do they do in this wizard tower? I'm gonna start putting details in here that are gonna tell you what they do. So whatever your building is, think about, what am I putting in the picture that's telling somebody what this building does and what's the story of this building, okay? remember, you've created all this space, so you can choose what to put out here, right? So I'm thinking like, you know, what is my wizard gonna have out on his lawn? Maybe there's, since it's like a fantasy thing, like with magic, maybe I'll put like some magical creatures. Maybe there's a magical forest. In fact, I'll put some more tree trunks. They're getting smaller as they go back toward the horizon line. See, and that, it looks like there's a little forest over there. And maybe I'll have a little dragon baby over here. Maybe the dragon baby's coming to save this dragon that was imprisoned. Oh, my imagination's getting all fired up now. Love it. All right, everybody. I am going to wrap up our virtual lesson for now, but that doesn't mean you got to stop, okay? So keep on drawing. Keep on being awesome, okay? You can take one last look at my picture. Just remember, everybody, yours does not have to look like this. Our art, everybody's art is different and special in its own way. Okay, and if everybody's art looked like mine, it'd be turn out to be pretty boring. All right, so just be happy with what you got. All right, and hey, keep being awesome, keep being your cool self, make your art with love, and I don't know, just keep making stuff. More, if I got nothing else to say, just keep making stuff, whatever it is. I hope that you keep working on this picture and like make this one like a really nice big project that you spend some extra time on. But if you want to do some other stuff too, that's cool too, as long as you're making stuff, okay? And then also just a message for parents. Some people were confused about, do I need to turn these in? The answer is not yet, all right? We're not exactly sure how grading is going to go just yet. So if you do want to send me your pictures, go for it. I've gotten a bunch of awesome pictures. I'm actually putting them together for an online art gallery, which is going to be really cool. And I love seeing your art. So keep sending it if you want to, but you don't have to, all right? It's not being graded just yet. So just keep making stuff. I would definitely just hang on to it and still keep it all together. All right. Love you all. That's why we do this. That's why as teachers do it, because we love you. Take care.